Hey everyone, Crude Mining here in the dungeon workshop. Got a little project, needs some modifications. I have two PCs that I use for streaming. One PC runs the game, the other PC is my streaming PC. Now I've had a need to mix and match some audio in from one, out to the other, out from the other, into my headset, etc., etc. And I built a little splitter and combiner for some audio cables. It's just a little project box with some 1/8 inch jacks on it, here. And I used some ideas from the internet, from YouTube specifically, in order to build the box. There's a little circuit board inside. It's a circuit board with some resistors on it. See if I can zoom in on it a little bit here. There you go. And some wires that connect things together in the order that I need them in order to get the audio to work the way I want it to work. And I won't go into too many details about what goes in and out and everything else. If you're interested, leave a comment below or ask a question, and I'll go ahead and describe exactly what the box is for. But the issue today, and why we're down here working on this again, is that these resistors here on the circuit board are a little bit too resistive. I started out with one 10,000 ohm resistor for the audio, for each audio input, and that was too much. It cut the volume down too much. I couldn't hear anything. So I doubled up the resistors to 10,000 ohm resistors equals 5,000 ohms of resistance because they're wired in parallel. So I wired these in parallel. I got 5,000 ohms of resistance. However, it's still too quiet. I still can't hear enough. So what I'm going to do is undo all of this work, basically, or I might just redo it on another board, and drop the resistance down. I have some resistors. I'm thinking, based upon what I'm hearing in my headphones, maybe 500 ohms might be good. 5,000 ohms right now is still incredibly quiet. I could go down to 1,000 ohms for each channel and see if that helps. But I'm thinking I might even drop down to 500 ohms. I just needed something a little bit to attenuate the signal coming out of each PC, because I'm mixing them together and I'm sending one signal out to the streaming PC. From the streaming PC, I have another audio signal coming in to my headphones, so I can hear actually two PCs at the same time. I can hear two computers worth of audio at the same time in my headset. So I think I'm going to drop these down to 500 ohm resistors and rebuild this project, and that's on the bench for today. Okay, well, I have some resistors that I have in my kit. Here's how they come from the supplier. And they say 470 ohms on them, but I'm just going to check real quick and make sure that they're somewhere close. They don't have to be perfect, but I just like to make sure that they're not mismanufactured or mislabeled. So that's about, if I can get my probes to work here, 468 is fine. 472 is fine. So anywhere close to 500 ohms is fine. 470. I need 4 of them. Yeah, these are all good. Okay, that's good enough. I guess the next choice is do I pull apart and unsolder all of this stuff, because it's kind of messy. You look at the back. The soldering job is not the best I've ever done. I did it quickly yesterday just so I could have audio to game and stream. But I think maybe instead of trying to unsolder all this, it's kind of messy. I might just start with a new project board. Or maybe not use a board at all. Maybe just solder everything direct to the wires. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, we are back with our circuit board. Change of plans. Instead of trying to desolder and resolder all of these resistors, I'm going to cut the wires and just solder the wires directly to the resistor. There's so many common connections for these wires, which are the left, right, and the ground for each audio input and output, that it's just going to be a lot simpler to do away with the board altogether now that I know that it works, and go ahead and just solder these direct. Okay, we've decided to not have the circuit board anymore and just make direct connections. So I went ahead and made direct connections to all of the inputs and outputs, putting the resistors, the 470 ohm resistors, in line, and then I put a little bit of shrink tube on here just to kind of keep things neat. So I'm going to take it upstairs, plug it in, and we'll see if it works and if the volume is a little bit better, which it should be. There we go, put the lid back on it. All right, if you'd like to see some more detail about this little project, go ahead and leave a comment down below, or ask a question if you want to ask a question about it. I can draw up a kind of pseudo schematic for it. If you have two PCs and you're trying to get some audio issues taken care of between the two PCs, then this is one way to do it. Hi, we're back upstairs at the computers, and I'm happy to report that the splitter joiner audio box worked just perfectly. I can hear audio from both computers nicely blended in my headset, and I can control the volume from either computer. Everything is working great. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, drop me a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.